Head over to miniaturemarket.com where they have thousands of board games at discounted prices like the Ms. Marvel Hero Pack. Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Just recently, Fantasy Flight released Marvel Champions, a cooperative card game where you had 5 heroes to choose from like Spider-Man and She-Hulk and Captain Marvel and Iron Man and Black Panther, you name it. Well, now they're gonna start coming out with hero packs because this is an LCG living card game. And so I'm gonna take a look at one of the packs that's about to come out called Ms. Marvel. I'm gonna show you not every card in here, but some of the ones that really struck me that I wanted to highlight and show you all the different things that do come in this. And then I'll tell you what I finally think on the other side. Now this hero pack of Ms. Marvel comes in a plastic container like this, and on the back side it actually tells you everything that comes in it, like a 60 card hero pack with a 40 card pre-built Ms. Marvel deck. It also comes with cards that you can use with any other hero decks now. And if you see this in the store, you can scan this and it'll actually show you all the cards inside. And it comes with a nice little insert that sort of tells you about the Ms. Marvel hero pack and talks about some of the abilities and how they came about. And on the back side of that, it has a cool little poster if you'd like to hang it up. Now I'm not going to cover all the cards here, but I will highlight some. This is the character card. On the alter ego side, you can recover 5. Or for an action, you can discard cards from the top of your deck until you come up with another one of the Ms. Marvel ones. It helps you go sort of find some of those. And when you flip to the hero side, pretty even, 1 for each attack, thwart, and defense. But after you play an attack like this, thwart, or defense event, you can exhaust Ms. Marvel and return that card to your hand. And that's cool because some of these are pretty good. Like this one only costs 2. It does 4 damage to an enemy. You could have played that, and then you could have exhausted her and put that back in your hand for next round. Now here's some of the Ms. Marvel cards I want to highlight. The Sneak By is an event. It's a thwart, so this is one of the ones that you could, put back in your hand with the ability from Ms. Marvel. You can remove 3 threat from a scheme, and that's one reason why Ms. Marvel is so balanced, is because some of her events and cards will do damage, and some of them will be doing thwarting. There's Wiggle Room. It's a free event that, anytime you take damage, you basically prevent up to 3 and then draw a card. Now, Shrink is an upgrade. Now, when you play any thwart event like this one, you can exhaust this and increase the amount that the threat removes by 2, so you can kind of sort of combo some of those together. Now, she has a handful of cards in her deck that are called personas, and this will be important later when I show you some things that happen with this deck. But this one, when you're the alter ego, you can exhaust this persona, and you place 1 card from your discard pile to the bottom of your deck, then draw a card. And that's cool because, as I showed you earlier, her alter ego allows her to sort of like discard a bunch of cards to get one of these Ms. Marvel cards. So you're going through the deck faster, but this is allowing you to take some of those cards that you've discarded, put back to the bottom of the deck. That's kind of cool. Now, this armor card allows you essentially to generate a resource for an event. It's an upgrade, and this upgrade, it's similar to this, but instead of doing thwart, it does it for an attack. When you use this, you can exhaust this to make the attack do 2 more. And again, you could use this in conjunction with some of the other event cards that attack with her. Now, I just talked about this persona and told you there were some other ones, but the obligation for Ms. Marvel, you'll have to discard 1 persona support you control, and if no support was discarded this way, then this card gains a surge. So some of these you'll have to discard in order to get past your obligation, assuming you didn't want to just exhaust the alter ego. Now, another cool thing having to do with personas is the nemesis from Ms. Marvel. Thomas Edison is the minion there, but this is when this is revealed, you discard the top card of each player's deck for each ally and persona support in play. So this gets worse the more of those personas you have in play, which is kind of cool. Also, when this treachery would get revealed from the nemesis deck for her, you exhaust each persona support in play, and then for each one that's exhausted, the villain heals 1 damage. So it's interesting how those sort of tie together with how many of those personas you have out. It's kind of cool. Now, this deck also comes with 14 cards from the protection aspect, and it's hard to see, but in the lower right, it has a little MS here that tells you that these cards are from this protection deck and not the one that came with the base game. I wish this was a little bit bigger and easier to see, because if they ever get mixed up, or you put these, because you can put these aspect cards with other heroes if you want, and if you want to construct your own deck. Here's 3 of my favorite ones from this deck. Now, it does have 14 cards. Some of them are duplicates from the previous base games deck, but a lot of them are new. For example, this cool energy barrier basically uses, counters, and then when you take any amount of damage, you remove a counter, and you prevent 1 damage and deal a damage. So it kind of like reflects it back on them. That's pretty cool. The tackle event, essentially you stun an enemy if you paid for this card using that type of resource, and you get to deal 3 damage. And the preemptive strike is a hero interrupt as a defense. When a boost card is turned face up while the villain attacks, you cancel all the boosts, then deal 1 damage for each boost that's there. That's a really cool card. Now it does have a list of all the cards that came in this Ms. Marvel deck, but then on the back side of here it said, hey, stop. Now the remaining cards in this deck are not part of this deck. You can use them to build. So let's show you what some of the other cards are. Essentially, it came with 3 of each of these cards, 1 from the aspect of aggression, justice, leadership, and a basic. And so 3 of each of these, and these are ones that you can sort of mix in with some of the other aspects that you have from the base game that if you want to start constructing your own decks. That's pretty much a lot of the new stuff. Again, I didn't show you every card, but kind of want to give you a flavor of the different things that come in this hero pack. All right, well, there's Ms. Marvel, and first of all, I like that she's a well-balanced character. You know, in the original game, if you took Iron Man and the aspect that he was dealt with, or sort of his base aspect, wasn't a very good character for solo play. You need to be able to have both good attack and good thwarting together to be good. Now, you could probably mix and match him with some other aspects that might make him a better solo player, but this one was good because you could play this solo with this as it's set up with the aspect with Ms. Marvel, the way it's set up as it comes in this hero pack, and I like that you can do that well in solo play, and I like that it's balanced. Some of the cooler cards there that were cool, you know, the big hands, they deal 4 damage. You can sneak by to remove 3 thwart, again, sort of a balanced attack versus thwarting. Wiggle room, preventing 3 damage and drawing a card. And cool, her special ability allows her to get those events back, which is cool. You do all these powerful things, then you use ability and you get them back, and that's kind of cool too. The alter ego ability allows you to discard to get a Ms. Marvel card, which is kind of cool. If you're hunting and pecking for some of those specific cards, you can go through your deck and get those. I like that the personas were here, and it helped you sort of move from the discard to the bottom of your deck, which allowed you to kind of combo with that other thing I just talked about, where you can go through your cards to try to find a Ms. Marvel card, but now you're able to take one from the discard, put it back at the bottom of the deck, which is cool. And the combos, it just combos well with her alter ego ability. On the Nemesis side scheme, I think it's cool because it's worse with more personas out. So that's cool because in this deck, you're doing a lot of different things with these cards called personas, but it also goes against you when the side schemes come out, discarding more cards off the top deck for each of the personas that are out, and that's kind of cool. The treachery scheme cards, they heal villain damage for each persona in play. Again, another thing, sort of comboing. This deck is cool for the comboing with the different personas. I like that it comes with a new set of a protection aspect. And it comes with its own set of cards, which is really cool because you could just buy this hero pack and just play it as it is. And that's pretty much how I like to play this game. I'm not really huge into LCGs generally, and I want to get as much as I can out of this without doing too much. And I like that it just comes with this, and the cards definitely in that protection aspect go well with this. Like the energy barrier, allows you to prevent a damage and reflect it back to the enemy. The preemptive strike cancels all boosts and deals a damage to the enemy for each one of those boosts. That's a really cool one. And so I like that. But I also like that if you wanted to, if you wanted to keep her with protection, you could switch that out and put the base game protection in. Or you can mix and match, a completely different aspect with her from the base game. I also like that it comes with those extra sort of cards from some of the other aspects that you can, if you're going to be doing some deck customization, it's there. So overall, I really like this character. Some cool things about going into the deck and looking for cards and things like that. So this is a good addition. I liked it, and again, I play this game a lot solo, so having a balanced character is cool. Anything negative is I would have liked to have seen some more creative obligation cards. I'm kind of a little tired of just seeing, well, exhaust and get rid of it, or do this and get rid of it. I would have liked to have seen something a little bit more creative, start to go down different paths for these obligation cards as opposed to them being somewhat predictable. And in this set, it's hard to see which protection cards are from the base game versus Ms. Marvel, because the base game just has sort of like an A, and then this one just has the M and an S, but it's kind of hard to tell those apart without looking really close. If you're separating out the aspect cards, as I mentioned, it's got to be a little bit pain in the butt to find the right ones to separate out. But that's pretty much it. If you like the Marvel Champions, this is definitely a good addition, adding this hero pack to it. This has been the Game Boy Geek, breaking down barriers, growing relationships through board games by helping you find the next one you'll love. Did you miss the Game Topper 2.0 Kickstarter? Have no fear, it's not too late to get in on the ultimate gaming accessory. Convert your table into a high-quality gaming table with a fully portable Game Topper system and take advantage of some of the best 3mm premium gaming mats in the industry. New styles, new sizes, and new accessories can be yours. Upgrade every game you play by late backing now at GameToppersLLC.com.